Kaylee Simon out of Junction, Texas will begin the outfield workout. Kaylee's 5'4", threw 59 miles per hour overhand, ran a 2.84 home to first base. You'll see Kaylee in the catcher's workout as well. Kaylee's made a lot of improvement from the first time that we saw her in December of 2011 until we saw her in Dallas in the summer of 2012, and now in early September of 2012, beginning her senior year, Kaylee looks a lot better than she ever has, taking better angles to balls in the outfield and really getting herself turned before the catch. Overall, looking more and more athletic. Brittany Taylor out of Marshall, Texas, we saw work out at first base. We'll now look at her in the outfield. We still feel like Brittany probably projects a little bit more or profiles out a little bit better as a corner infielder than in the outfield. Tends to take routes that go from line to gap instead of going back towards the foul pole at an angle on the balls that are hit overhead. Obviously something that more experience helps on, but a lot of times we see corner infielders have difficulty with as they move to the outfield. And Brittany obviously will do a good job on the scoop being an infielder. Braden Pinkard out of Austin, Texas, a 2013 outfielder, was 59 miles per hour overhand at Scout Day. We have seen Braden as high as 63 miles per hour. Arm action on Braden is something we feel like could always improve. She shows really good range there, goes lateral really well, makes the vertical plays really well, but the arm action itself is something that we could see Braden being a 65-mile-an-hour arm with better carry and better accuracy. If she could lengthen out and get better separation instead of somewhat short-arming the ball from the outfield. And it's obviously something that a program at the next level is going to want to see improve as well, but does a good job currently. Brittany McKissick out of Leander, Texas. We saw Brittany play first base at Scout Day, saw her even work out a little bit at shortstop. Brittany just showing versatility here. Corner outfield tools at the next level if she needs to fill into that spot. If there's not an open position at first base right away, it's something Brittany can do is play a pretty good corner outfield position. As you see, she gets her body turned, gets the ball back in quickly. Somebody we feel like is going to have several outfield assists per year if she does go that route and play an outfield position at the next level. Arm strength-wise at 65, obviously has enough arm to do it and a quick release. Jalen Morris out of Cypress, Texas. We've seen Jalen several times now. Had a really good showing in the games at Scout Day. A lot of times during the workout sessions with Jalen, you never see her get to full speed. Footwork-wise, she tends to drift to the ball just a little bit. 305 speed at Scout Day. We've seen her under 3 at other events, but it was in the game situations that we actually saw Jalen get to run a little bit and really made a really good made a diving catch and doubled a runner off in the game situations. It looked really good. Gave us an idea of what she's really capable of, and the coaches in attendance what she's capable of as well too. Up next is Whitney Judd out of Azle, Texas, 5'4", 66 miles per hour overhand and a 2.89 runner. Whitney's obviously a player that even stands out on video as being athletic. Physical tools, looks like a corner outfield prospect. Looks a little faster than the times indicate. Probably looks like a high 2.7 runner, but in actuality runs a 2.89. So corner outfield speed, angle-wise, needs to really solidify the angles. Make sure that she's not trying to jump the route and just go perfectly lateral. Is going to have to angle back on the balls and not have to adjust her routes as she gets deeper into the outfield near the wall. Taylor Wright, who we saw at second base during the infield workout, will now go into the outfield. Collegiate-wise, Taylor probably is going to profile out in the outfield a little bit better. A small-town kid who's still raw fundamentally, but a good kid who really works hard. Will need a place to go where she can continue to develop and play catch-up just a little bit so that she can really be around the game at a higher level and see what she can actually do. Arm strength-wise, Taylor was at 53 miles per hour overhand, so we're looking at corner outfield arm strength most likely a left fielder with 53 miles an hour and average speed at a 3.05 home to first base. Arm action right over the top, which really makes her profile in the outfield as opposed to second base. Brenda Hernandez out of Galveston, Texas is up next. 5'4", 53 miles per hour overhand, a 2.99 runner home to first base. Pretty good high energy kid. Did not let the energy slow down during the game situations. A very good communicator in the outfield. Did a really good job of helping out her cause in games on communicating really well, being there on backups and things like that. Things that are going to really help her move into a college program and settle in nicely right away. She'll have some angle issues that she needs to clean up a little bit, but pretty easy for a kid that's working that hard to learn that stuff at the next level. Samantha Gutierrez is up next out of Angleton, Texas, 5'1". Ran a 3.20 home to first base, 53 miles per hour overhand. Does a nice job of getting rid of the ball quickly. Takes good angles, gets yourself turned, gets yourself set underneath the ball typically. Had some of the better initial reactions and reads on fly balls that we saw at Scout Day. Doesn't quite have the closing speed at 3.20, but should make a nice corner outfield prospect at the next level. Kaylee Simon's second time up here. You'll see in this round, Kaylee does a little bit better job of showing how she's able to get herself turned and set before the catch, showing off the athleticism a little bit more. Kaylee really does have some athletic upside and still is very raw and underdeveloped as a player, but we expect that to catch up with her athletic ability. Brittany Taylor with her second round. Brittany will end up as a corner outfielder or corner infielder at the next level. Does a really good job at the plate, hits for some power. So look for her to settle into a defensive position where we can put a power player. Braden Pinkard back up. Braden had a good first round in the outfield. Again, shows good lateral range, going in any direction. Again, as Braden's arm action improves in the outfield, expect her to really settle down as possibly a power-hitting right fielder that should have the arm to have a couple of outfield assists a year and really neutralize the opponent's running game. We'll take a look at Brittany McKissick on her second time through now. As you see with Brittany, just small adjustments in her angles that she typically has to readjust before she gets to destination, which is just a sign that she's played more infield than outfield at this point. Good arm action from the outfield. Jalen Morris again in the outfield. As you see with Jalen, it's just a matter of committing to the angle. She typically, whether it's a second guess or just unfamiliarity with the path of the ball, that there's something that takes place during the process that makes her not get to full speed. Jalen just has to learn to get to full speed and commit to the angle every single time. Whitney Judd, second time through out of Azle, Texas. You can really see the athleticism as she runs through the ball. As you see there were at least 2 adjustments during the route going back to the wall. That she has enough speed to get to that ball. Again, on the ball going back, it's a slight adjustment. Moving back on the ball, something that she just needs to work on. Does well on the ball hit in front of her and accelerates well. Just has to work on going back on the ball a little bit better and making that part of her game as well. Taylor Wright with her final time through in the outfield. Again, with Taylor, it's that she's almost going step by step through the whole process as opposed to making sure that she's real fluid and real athletic and real dynamic, that she is more athletic than she shows in the outfield. She just tends to go step by step a little bit right now. Something that should improve as she gets more experience at the next level. Brenda Hernandez will now come for her final time through. Even with Brenda at 53 miles an hour, I really feel like with better separation that we could see her in the upper 50s. Athletically, she looks like she can do it. But as you see, as she separates, she never really gets any type of spread between the elbows or the throwing hand in the glove. So it really prohibits her from getting to the upper 50s, but I think it's something she could probably get to. Samantha Gutierrez comes through on her last time. Samantha has a little bit of the same separation issues with her hands that we saw at Brenda Hernandez. Just doesn't quite get separated fully, and so that keeps her at 53 miles an hour too. And it is a little surprising that Samantha has 3.20 speed because she does move so well in the outfield. Very aggressive as well. Gets beat on that ball over her head, which is a sure double anyway. But I like the fact that she actually shows our number to the plate and runs back on it really well. Really commits to the angle and doesn't drift on the ball at all. Does a nice job.